Welcome to Mickey Guru Travel Talk with Christy, Gina, Eric, and Kyle. Let's sit back and chat about some magical destinations. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode. I am Gina, and I am your host tonight. I hope you are excited for another riveting episode. I'm sorry.
That's it. I'm out.
It's not going to be riveting.
You put me up on a pedestal and I'm going to fall hard.
It's going to be interesting.
Of course it's going to be interesting.
We're all together, not together. So we have Christy.
Hello there.
Eric.
Hello.
And Kyle.
Hey, everybody.
So, like I said, we're together but not together because the Willettes are in New Hampshire and the Greenways are in North Carolina. Just for those of you that may be new to the podcast, that's where we're located. So tonight, we're going to dive deep into Bay Lake, over into Seven Seas Lagoon.
Hope you can swim. Right.
Right? And then pop up
Dirty water.
at the Contemporary. Might have a few amoebas in our brains.
Yeah. We don't need any more natural disasters right now.
Yeah,
No,
really,
no.
right?
No, but we are going to be talking about the Contemporary Resort at
Yay.
Walt Disney World,
Cool.
the original Uno #1 resort. So before we do, though, I want to touch base and find out what everybody is drinking because the Greenways have prepared something special in honor of our episode.
All right. Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So what are you drinking?
We are drinking off of the Outer Rim bar menu. We are drinking blood orange margaritas.
And they're tasty.
They are tasty.
That sounds good.
Freshly made.
Fresh squeezed. Can you see? You can kind of see the
Easy.
color.
It's a keyboard there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So did you squeeze a blood orange all yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
You
6
can
of them.
buy blood oranges in the grocery store. You cut them in half.
Why is he looking at me like
Squeeze
that?
them. I don't know.
Just curious why you're amused by the fact that she squeezed an orange all by herself.
I mean, because you can buy blood orange juice. So I thought maybe that's what it was. But then she was saying that she made it herself. I mean, he looks at me like that. He's never squeezed an orange and made orange juice out of it.
Ever squeezed a lemon?
But I
So Allie actually did that yesterday. Lemon and lime and made herself limeade.
Limeade.
Oh,
Yes.
I love limeade.
no, Eric, that was not a Led Zeppelin reference.
no, you've seen Real Genius, right?
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah, that was all of a sudden a scene from that came into my mind, but I can't share that with everybody, so you'll have to go figure it out yourself.
Okay, yeah.
No.
Reference.
Okay. Alrighty then.
Sorry.
This
Christy.
episode's completely off the rails already.
yeah.
Right? It is off the rails.
I'm
Are
just
you guys
noticing-
drinking anything special?
Sorry, but I just noticed that my eyebrows look really good because I
Oh.
finally had my eyebrows done today after 8.5 months of quarantine. I'm looking at my eyebrows and I'm getting distracted. I'm like, wow.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
How about
Tracy
mine?
Collins did a really good job on those eyebrows.
Oh, I don't want to take away anything
Anyway.
from your eyebrows.
Right.
Sorry.
I'm not even drinking, really.
Thank God.
So I'm drinking out of this mug.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And it's Juicy Juice Fruit Punch.
Oh my god, are you kidding
Please
me?
tell me it's got vodka in it.
She's not kidding.
No, I don't have any vodka.
No.
Juicy juice.
So it's just Juicy Juice. And I'm
The hard stuff, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, there's kids that watch this show.
Juicy juice fruit punch. Is that what you said?
Mhm.
Is that the
Is it-
only flavor of juicy juice you like?
Did you have to squeeze it out of the little bag?
Right? Put the little straw into it, just jab at it.
Till it goes everywhere. You just-
I like
Just
the...
jab at the bag like you're OJ.
Oh,
Oh,
too soon.
that is
Well.
not okay. Holy mother of Mickey Mouse. So, yeah, no, I like the cherry juice option too.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ugh,
That one's good.
God.
It's mostly
Good for
apple
you.
juice.
Eric, is that what you're
On the hard
drinking?
stuff again.
I got a big old
Aw.
bottle of water
Nothing
from
wrong with
Poland
that.
Springs.
The only
That's
kind
it.
of water.
That's in Florida, you know. Not too far from.
No, it's not.
No, it's in New
Full-
Hampshire.
It's Maine,
In New
actually.
Hampshire.
Oh,
New
Poland
Hampshire.
Springs was in.
No,
Oh, I'm thinking of
Zephyr Hills.
Zephyr Hills, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Every,
Well,
So-
Christy comes from the Poland Springs lineage.
right.
Oh.
My
Yeah.
family owned Poland Springs before the Depression when they lost it all.
And then they lost it during the Depression.
Yeah.
Wow. Did they sell water back then, or was it they
Yeah.
weren't onto that genius? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Water, and there was a hotel and everything, right?
Yeah, there's still a hotel and
Yeah.
a museum. My dad goes up there like usually every summer.
Sure.
Visit the money that we never got.
Cries out in
Yeah.
the front yard until they tell him to leave.
Right.
Right.
Well, he goes in and he's like, "Hi, my family used to own this place," and they're always like, "Hi."
Hi.
Yeah,
Dennis.
sure.
Yeah.
Hi, Dennis.
Thanks, Dennis.
Go
Like,
away.
oh, it's your yearly visit to tell us about your lineage and pointed the name on the wall. Like, that's what you're here for. Okay.
Yep. That's
Oh,
fun. My family, before the Great Depression, owned massive amounts of orange groves down in
in
Florida.
yeah.
Did they
Yep.
squeeze blood oranges themselves, or did they hire people to do
No,
that?
they hired people
They
to
hired
do that for
my
them.
family to do it.
Got it. Okay.
My family were picking the oranges.
Mm.
Good. Good.
I'm kidding.
But then lost everything in the Great Depression.
As did a lot of
Everything.
people.
Yeah. So sad.
Wow.
Which version? The 2020 version of the Great Depression? Oh, never mind.
God.
Christy!
I mean, seriously, could this year get any worse? Well,
thought
I don't
we
want to
had-
say that because I
don't say
think
that.
I'm not going to say that.
The answer to your question is yes.
Yes.
So let's hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
Fingers
Jeez.
crossed.
I'm
So what are we
done
talking
with
about
this.
tonight, Gina?
We're going to talk about the contemporary. Let's talk
Yeah.
about the contemporary.
Not about the Great
It
Depression.
opened in October of 1971, which
That's a great year.
it was a great year. Did you know that in November of 1971, I went to Walt Disney World? Just letting y'all
Do you know
know.
in January of 1971 I was born, so put that on your
Wow.
stone placards.
Who cares? Just kidding. I do. I'm sorry. That wasn't
No,
very
no,
nice.
none of that.
I care.
It's a family friendly show.
Family friendly show. Okay. So I think most people are familiar with the story of how the contemporary was supposed to be built in module rooms that could be taken out, redone, reworked, and then slide back in. They were
So-
each independent.
So that's a myth.
Is it really?
That is a myth. Everything I read today, and there was a lot of websites I read through today, said that's
Yeah.
actually a myth.
Wow.
Really?
Yes, they built them off site, and they did bring them in. They
Right.
bring them in, put them into the frame.
Mhm.
But what they did after that was they laid all of the, they basically laid out where they were going to put the concrete, and they poured the concrete over it. So you could never pull them out.
They were locked in.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
locked in. They can't actually come out. But
How about that?
everybody believes that's true.
I saw it like on Modern Marvels, on the History
Right.
Channel.
Yep.
Mhm.
I even got it on, recorded, and I'm like, oh, okay.
So where did you read that it wasn't true?
Everywhere.
Everywhere, apparently.
Yeah, everywhere. I read multiple websites that had that information on it.
Because I've always
HuffPo,
thought it too.
CNN.
It's absolutely one of those that everybody believes that's the case.
Mhm.
And then as I dug into it a little bit more, I was like, oh,
Did you
yeah,
go to
no, it's
Dave's
not.
House of Mouse? Like,
Yeah.
Dave's House
Dave's
and
House.
Mouse. Or maybe like the Polynesian guy. And I think there's a website called the Polynesian guy.
there's like
or
the
something.
tiki.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's it.
The Polynesian guy.
Something like that, yeah. I didn't make
What
up
is
the
his
names.
name? The Polynesian guy? The
Cousin something.
yeah. I'm trying to think of
Cuz-
the
The Polynesian guy.
Who's
Could you
the-
be more specific?
who's Moana's who's the rock?
Oh, yeah.
Mark.
Maui.
No, Johnson.
No,
Maui.
Maui.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maui.
Maui. Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne the Rock.
All right. So anyway,
Rock Johnson.
let's get back to, let's be informative about our contemporary
Sorry.
resort. Because that's all we're going to talk
We're
about.
just telling lies so far. So.
Right. We're just
No.
spreading lies. Sorry. Well, okay. So, Mr. Fact Checker,
Yes.
is this one true? Is true or false?
Okay.
The contemporary is where Richard Nixon said, "I am not a crook."
Whoa.
I was going to save that for later.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you didn't talk
Buzzkill.
about that.
Busted
So-
that bubble.
So if you'd like the rest of that information, November 17th, 1973, in the Ballrooms of the Americas. Ballroom
Wow.
of the Americas.
Yes.
I've been in that room several times and
He-
didn't even realize how historic it was.
I know,
I know,
right?
right?
He visited the Associated Press Managing Editors Association's annual conference. I bet that was a swinging happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
On November 17th, 1973, where he said, I am not a crook.
Wow.
And then
I
resigned
am not
in
a
August
right.
of 1974.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Shook his jowls.
And we realized he was
really,
what,
that's
lying?
I mean, he may have been
He was a
someone
dirty
who
rotten
was lying.
crook.
But still,
He was a
by far,
politician.
probably the most, one of those things that everybody knows, everybody knows happens. Everybody can like recite those lines.
Right.
Most people have no idea where it actually took place.
That's true.
That's right.
Very true.
Right? Would have never known that until I started looking into it a little today. I was like, wait.
Do you know
that's
the
really
trivia
cool.
behind the Polynesian when we talk about it?
I know nothing about the Polynesian.
Oh, no,
I haven't had a
save
chance
it,
to
save it,
research
save
it.
it.
Okay.
Save
Okay.
it.
We'll save
Okay.
that
Save
one.
it. You'll like
I
it.
will.
It's
It's cool.
it's a cool one.
Okay. I will
Anyway.
do my research before that.
Yes. Okay. So back to the contemporary.
Mhm.
When you stay there, you get two choices of a view. You can have a lake view, which is Bay Lake,
Mhm.
or you can have a resort theme park view. Or I guess you could have a parking lot view
If you're in
if
the
you're
South Wing.
in the
or whatever.
South Wing. Yeah. So yeah,
But don't
we
stay
should
in the
say
South
that.
Wing.
No,
No.
don't do that.
Don't stay in the wings.
That's only, 2 stories tall, the wings?
Yeah.
So, or the wing?
The wing is. Bay Lake Tower used to be the other wing. Where the Bay Lake Tower is now
Yep.
was the north wing.
Yeah.
And that's actually, the Contemporary was, I think, the first hotel I stayed at Walt Disney World.
Sure. It was either
Yeah.
that or the Polynesian, right?
Well, I couldn't remember which is first, but
Which
I'm
opened
pretty
first?
sure the Contemporary was
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, I'm sure it opened first.
And it looks exactly like I remember it looking when I went there the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a big,
It
huge
hasn't-
concrete monolith. I don't think much can really change
Yeah,
it.
they
Can't really
can't.
change that a whole
And
lot.
it's iconic,
No.
too. Why would you want to change it?
True.
So
I mean,
basically,
the
what you're-
restaurants and stuff had
Yeah.
changed.
and so it's 14 stories tall, right? That's how tall the
Hmm.
something like
Yeah.
that. And it's basically what Gino's saying is it's got two. It's a big A-frame. So one side faces Bay Lake, the other side faces Seven Seas Lagoon. So from the Seven Seas Lagoon side,
Hmm.
you have a beautiful view of Magic Kingdom, and you can see across to Grand Floridian, or you can see the Poly there too, right?
Let's hold on a second,
What's that?
because I was going to let Christy talk about when she stayed at Theme Park View Room.
Oh,
And we
okay.
could talk about when we stayed at a Bay Lake Tower room.
Guess I should read the notes, huh?
No, it's fine. I don't think that was in the notes. That
I don't
was
think
in the
there were
notes in my head.
Yeah.
So,
Christy, would you like to take it away from here?
Sure.
Far, far, far away from here.
So I've actually stayed in both the Bay Lake side and the theme park side, and I love them both. But the theme park side, it was such a cool thing to wake up in the morning and open your balcony, and you could hear like the roller coasters running. You could hear like Big Thunder Mountain. You could hear Haunted Mansion.
oh,
You could hear
wow.
the ghost sounds.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, one particular trip I was there and it was really windy and it was just coming in the right direction and you could hear like the howling of the
Oh, my gosh.
ghosts
Creepy.
and the dogs or whatever. It was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.
That's
I was
neat.
by myself,
Oh,
so it was a little like
a little
spooky.
creepy. Yeah.
But, I got to see most of the fireworks. It wasn't a perfect view, like straight on view from from my room, but it was a good enough view to warrant, being able to be really close to air conditioning
Yeah.
when it was over.
Yeah, we've seen the
Right.
fireworks from there too, but not from the room, but from, well, I'll let Gina tell about that.
Oh, yeah. I was sorry. I had a flashback to another stay, and I was like, but we weren't at the Contemporary. I know what you're talking about. Sorry. So we stayed on the Bay Lake side.
Mhm.
And I find that the rooms are fine. There's one pet peeve I have about the rooms. They are modern, as you can imagine, decorated and
Very much so.
contemporary. In the bathrooms, the sinks are very shallow, but really, really deep front to back. So water easily will spill over if you
It's like
leave
a
it.
splash pad.
Yeah. And then there's no counter space. So there's nowhere to put your stuff. And when you're like me and you like to unpack your stuff, there's nowhere to put your stuff. So it's a pain in the rear end.
Yep.
And I always joke with you about that because I have no problem fitting like the 3 things that I have. So like every time I go to put my stuff in that room, I think of Gina and I'm like, I've got plenty of room for my stuff. Maybe
Well,
you
we-
just have too much stuff.
Maybe I do
Really,
have too
she
much
didn't have
stuff.
that big of a problem with it because she just, instead of putting it in the bathroom, she just piled everything on the copious amount of desk space and counter space that's in the.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
It's got a lot of room in this big, huge, nice
Mhm.
desk area, corner desk.
But I have to say, one of my favorite things about the room is the fact that you're in that atrium, and when you're in the tower, And it is loud because you've got Chef Mickey's going on. You've got the Contempo Cafe. You've just got the monorail
monorails,
coming
yes.
and going, and people, getting off and all excited about their day and blah, blah, blah. And all that, just comes straight up in there. And then when you open up your door and you walk in and you shut it, it's quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice and
You hear none of
soundproof.
that.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Well, because you don't expect it. Remember when we stayed there, because I had stayed there without you a couple times, and then I finally convinced them to try it, and then he was saying the same thing. He's like, oh, it's going to be loud. I'm like, no, wait, listen. Like, nothing.
Yeah.
Yep. Kind of cool.
Yeah, it was the same thing at the Grand Californian too, because we had a theme park view there that was looking over California Adventure. And I mean, literally, you open the doors and there's the theme park right there, and it was just, and then you close the doors and completely quiet. It was really cool.
Right.
Do a good job with that insulation.
Yeah,
I know.
so that is kind of neat, especially, I mean, when you consider there's basically a train running through the middle of a hotel, right?
Right.
I think that's
Interesting thing about the monorail there, they had obviously designed it to go through from the beginning. Well, Walt and Roy talked about that was going to happen, but Roy, the Imagineers, basically came up to Roy and said, no, like, you can't do this. Like, it's not going to work. You can't have this. And he looked at the design and it was like, well, if I don't do that, it just basically looks like a Hilton with a, atrium in the middle of it.
Right.
He's like, nope. He looked at him, go make it work.
Wow.
and left them to do it. So they figured it out, luckily.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you imagine it not having that, though? It would be so weird. Like,
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be such a blah hotel if it wasn't.
Yeah. So.
Because that's definitely, I love that resort for people that haven't been before and they maybe have young kids, because I just think the idea of the monorail going through your resort, it just doesn't get any cooler than that.
So novel.
Just to be able to stand there and just watch. Because
walk
I
out of your
loved
room
it
and
as a
look down.
little kid.
Look down at them from most of the rooms.
Yeah.
Look down on it, come in. While I'm thinking of it, there was one other thing I wanted to say while we were talking about rooms is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but these rooms, since they are modular and they're kind of, one unit, they have more space than a lot of the newer rooms. And all of them, I think they're all, other than the presidential suite, they're all pretty much the same size, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they really are very tall and very wide. Like it's
Quite
there's
spacious.
a lot more space. And I think that Grand Floridian's kind of similar in that regard. Like those rooms are just really tall. So it gives you this feeling of being in this gigantic room. But when you compare those rooms to, like, say, Wilderness Lodge or Animal Kingdom Lodge, they're much larger and they feel it too.
I think they're larger than the Polynesian, because the Polynesian doesn't give you that height.
Head space,
It definitely. So, all in all, it's go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
Fun fact about the rooms: they're 9 tons each.
Wow. So I like.
How about that?
18,000.
Yeah,
it's 18,000 pounds. That's a lot of poundage.
And there's 250 of them, give or take, in the whole thing. That includes the wings.
And the whole in the main building, there's 383 rooms.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's 250 on the wing.
On the wings. Okay.
Wing,
I knew there was a 250 there somewhere.
Yeah.
What?
I had a picture of Rain Man in my head when you were saying
Oh.
The thing is,
but at 9 tons a piece, that's kind of interesting when you start to think about it.
Yeah.
How heavy is a hotel? Well,
there you go.
That's just such a random piece of, like...
It is, right?
My favorite thing about that hotel, I mean, other than I do think the restaurants have a lot of things to offer, but the fact that it's so close to the Magic Kingdom.
Oh,
you
yeah.
take the monorail, or you can walk.
You can walk,
right?
Absolutely. That's what we always do.
It's such a nice walk, especially if the weather's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice stroll over there. You could be there in less than 10 minutes.
It's a great thing.
Yeah.
Actually, for me at least, it's kind of contradictory to what you would think. But like at night, when you're leaving the Magic Kingdom, and it's just that chaotic mess there at the entrance, it's nice just to go whoop and hang a left, and you're like, you know what, I'm tired, but I'm just going to stretch my legs out. I'm going to have a little walk. And I just love that, because you don't have to wait for a train, you don't have to wait for a boat, you don't have to
Yep. And it's really not that far.
Unless
to
you
walk
have
either,
a unless you have a blister, and then it's not that fun.
If you wore your wool socks, you wouldn't have a blister. But that's for a whole nother episode.
Yeah, I think we've already had that episode. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not recently.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm willing to revisit it.
We'll have a sock episode.
The annual sock episode.
So you mentioned the restaurants that are there.
Mm-hmm.
There are a number of restaurants. That's one of the things that it definitely has going for it. You have the Contempo Cafe, which is the quick service.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that for a second. Have you guys ever ordered from there before?
Oh my goodness.
You okay?
To cut that out. All of a sudden, I'm like
Very excited by the Contempo Cafe. Like, hold on.
Yeah. They have
myself
the
there for a
peanut
second.
butter jelly things there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do love me some counter service. What?
So, yes, we have done that a couple times. It's actually one of my least favorite quick service.
Oh, is
because
it?
of the way that they organize it. So
Right.
if you do the mobile ordering, it's perfect. Like
Right.
nothing to complain about.
Mhm.
But if you go in there to order, it's like everybody kind of funnels in, and then you have to go get in line for the register.
Kiosk.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like then they do it. They never have enough staff there. Like we
Yeah.
always end up waiting there way
Well-
longer than we need to.
And to be honest, that's a relatively new thing too. I think with them changing rather than ordering at the window and then paying at the the
Right.
register, they've moved
Right.
to pay it and order at the register.
Yeah.
People don't know what they want to eat,
Right.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
right? And that's the problem. That's where it
Well, they
backs
have-
up, and that's what ends up causing an issue. So,
Right. They have those big kiosks that have the pictures of all the food and stuff
yeah.
that you should be able to stand there and figure out what you want. But I just don't think people are built that way. And when every other resort that you've ever been to at Walt Disney
Or
World
restaurant.
operates where you get to go and look at what it is,
Yeah.
because a picture of something and then the actual item itself, two different things.
Well, especially since when you walk into that area, right? If you walk in, the kiosk is there so you can read everything. But if you go forward is where there's like the case where there's all kinds of things.
Right.
But they don't want you to go there. They want you to go get in line at the thing and pay for it first and
Yeah.
order it there. It's even I've done it several times. I'm like, I don't know what they want me to be doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Where do you want me?
This
Do you
is
want me to get
confusing.
food or not get food?
You wait in the line. You were waiting in the line.
Yeah.
Do you want me to order it first and then go back to the thing and get it? Because I could do that. Are you going to bring it to my table?
And
What are
really,
you
the
doing?
food is the food. It's fine. Like we've never had a
Right.
problem with the food. They do have Uncrustables, which I'm kind of happy about. And they have hard-boiled eggs most of the time, which is another good like protein thing to just grab
Okay.
onto and go.
World's oldest 4-year-old.
Juicy juice.
Juicy juice. Exactly.
Cheers.
So let's move on to another restaurant that is there right next door to the Contempo,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that is Chef Mickey's.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, have you guys
1980s
done that
style
recently?
and all.
Because we have.
We did it last July.
Yeah, I was going to say it felt like it was recently.
Yeah,
we hadn't
did
done
it
it
in.
in years, but
Yeah, we hadn't done it in years either, and so we did it in December when we were there.
It's a little dated.
A little bit dated.
The food's it's a standard Disney buffet, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't find the food that bad, but I just felt like
The
the decor,
The decor, yeah.
had been there since the 80s
Yeah.
Mhm.
and had not gotten a fresh coat of paint since then. Like they put it up and then that was it. They were done with it.
yeah.
But it's a fun experience.
Oh, it's, yeah. It's
If you're going to go and, meet Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Pluto, it's
probably the best
fun.
place to meet the Fab Four. Well, it's the only place really at dinner to meet the Fab Four, right? Or the
Yeah,
Fab
because
Five.
Mickey and
Yeah.
Minnie are only together at Topolino's
Mhm.
Right.
now. Otherwise, they split them up. So yeah, it's the only place
Mhm.
you can get the Fab
Fab 4.
Yeah.
4 out of 5.
5.
Five?
Fab
Five.
Five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fab 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And it is wildly popular, so you have to book pretty early, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're open for breakfast too.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have it in their head that they want that.
mhm.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like the Cinderella's Royal Table, where
Right.
people are like, "Oh, I've got to have a meal in the castle." I get it, but that one is so expensive
Yeah.
Right.
that I will say to people, if you really want a good character like princess thing, Akershus is better.
Yeah.
But Chef
The
Mickey's
food
is
is
perfect for like the younger kids
Yes.
that
I
really
think so.
want the
I can't
Fab
believe
Five.
that Christy would recommend Arcus.
Me either.
Only for
Arcus.
breakfast.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Breakfast.
Okay.
That
I was
is-
like,
yeah.
wow.
That was horrible.
I'm
Yeah,
the only
that
one that
was
likes
horrible.
that.
God, remember the pork chops? They were like
They were
hard
not
and
good.
dry
But I
as
can just go
dirt.
and have the little hors
Little-
d'oeuvre bar.
yeah.
But anyway, that's another restaurant
That's
for
another
another
restaurant.
day.
Let's talk about that later. So, Chef Mickey's needs a fresh coat of paint, but it's a fun experience if you like to wave around dirty napkins in the air.
Throw
Close your
food on
eyes,
people.
kids.
Throw your dirty food on people. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I didn't want you to eat that. Let me put that in my napkin, and then you're whipping it
Whipping it
around. And
around.
there goes your
Like, oh, I
shrimp.
forgot I spit
Right?
into that. Oh no.
Oh, God. Now, they do have one
That's
restaurant
probably
that's,
a post-COVID thing that's going to stop.
yeah, I hope.
Yeah, I think that's going to go away.
That's an easy one, right? Oh, that hanging fruit there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they do have one restaurant that we haven't been to before that I kind of want to try, and that's the Wave,
The wave, yeah.
down on the first floor. Have you
Yep.
guys been to the Wave?
We did.
Yes.
You've waved before?
We have waved.
A couple
Okay,
times.
cool.
I'm sorry.
Do you remember anything about it?
I remember you didn't like it.
Which doesn't take a whole lot for me, but
It's
it was okay.
a little more to the specialty side
Mm.
of
Okay.
food. You know, it's going to be stuff that's not.
It's a chef's menu. So to speak.
Yeah, a little more than what Christy tends to go for.
They're supposed to have good sushi there.
Well, case in point.
Did you not have?
I don't remember if we had the sushi there or not. I think we may have, and I think again it was probably a little more chefy,
Okay,
Mhm.
than what we normally do.
right.
I vaguely remember getting it, but it obviously wasn't like life altering because it didn't stick. So
I love the atmosphere in there,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very cool setting, and it feels a little bit like you're underwater, kind of like the blue you guys have got going on in your studio
Yeah.
today.
You
Right.
like that?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like that kind of cool feel. So I
Yeah.
like that part of it. And breakfast is decent. And at lunch they did have a turkey club. You
Oh,
know how
well,
I
there
feel
you
about
go.
turkey clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a pretty hip bar too, because you literally, as you go in, that's
Mhm.
really what you're going into is this really cool bar.
Right.
And
Is that
at
the
first
Outer
it-
Rim?
Nope, that's the Wave
no,
Lounge.
It's the Wave Lounge.
Mhm.
And if you don't know it, when you walk in, you're like, whoa, I'm not going into a bar, but I think you're quickly shuffled past that or through that. And
Yeah.
it's a good bar. I've been there before, just at the bar. I don't even think you've been there.
Mm-mm, I haven't.
Yeah.
Nope. Haven't
I
done
went
that.
there to get drinks for us, I think.
And then we talked about our drinks that we're drinking tonight are from the Outer Rim.
That's right.
And that lounge is upstairs, right next door to Contempo.
Mhm.
And on the back side of it is Chef Mickey's.
Chef Mickey's, yeah.
So it's a good place to go if you have a wait to get into
Mhm.
Chef Mickey's. It's good to jump over there. But it also has some pretty cool seating
hmm
that's right there that you can kind of overlook Bay Lake and kind of sit back and relax a little bit there and just people watch.
Yeah, it's a good place for people to
Mhm.
watch.
Yeah, it is. Then the most spectacular restaurant
Yes.
is their, I would say it's their signature dining restaurant, and that's California Grill, and it's on the very top.
15th floor.
Yes. So, Christy, you made a face when we started talking about it. So you're not a fan of California Grill.
So we went once on our,
Mhm.
I think it was our 15th anniversary trip,
I think so.
because it was just the
Yeah.
two of us.
hmm
And I had a reservation. I was, mildly interested. And then we got there and looked at the menu, and I was like, I'll have a Sprite. Like, legit. And you had sushi, I think, like an
I
appetizer.
did have the sushi. Yep.
And then that was it. We left and went to go probably to Contempo Cafe.
Probably.
Maybe that
Yeah.
sounds familiar. It very pricey. Even for Disney pricing,
hmm
it's above
True.
and beyond that.
Well, I feel like you're paying for that view, don't you think?
Yeah.
The
I mean,
table
that's
we got
yes.
didn't even have
yes,
a view.
you're paying for the view. Like
Yeah.
you would if you're lucky enough to have that and be there at the time when the fireworks are going to happen and all that good
Right.
Yeah.
stuff. I'll just at that point I'll just go outside. I'll go outside and watch the fireworks. I mean, if you're a foodie, it's probably a great place to go.
Now, we went with my mom and my stepdad and the girls up there to the lounge area and wound up getting some really great seats that looked straight on at Magic Kingdom, and there was storms coming.
Yeah, that was
And
cool.
so we
Oh,
watched the
cool.
storms roll in across Magic Kingdom. And actually, we have some pictures, I
We
think.
had some yummy sushi too.
And so we ate off of the lounge menu, which is like an abridged version of the dinner menu. And then we
A little
had
bit more affordable, only because the serving sizes were smaller.
smaller. Yeah,
really
exactly.
small, right?
Yeah. And what we did was we left once the storm had rolled through. We left and then went to dinner reservations at Be Our Guest. But my mom and my stepdad stayed, and they wound up eating dinner there. And they just, even though they didn't have reservations, they brought plates, napkins, the whole 9 yards, and they were able to keep that killer seat right there by the window. And so they ate dinner there and really enjoyed it. So, and if I remember correctly, no matter what time you eat dinner, you can come back up if you save your receipt, and you can come back up and they will allow you to go outside and watch the fireworks from that top deck where they pipe the music and stuff. So, which is really nice to be able to do that and just go, back to your room right afterwards.
Yeah.
So
I just pulled up the menu because I was thinking about what was on there that I just wouldn't eat anything. And I think honestly, it may have been partly about the price and the food, because they have an oak-fired fillet of beef. And it has Gouda macaroni and cheese. I wouldn't have eaten that.
Oh, yum.
Roasted Brussels sprouts, oxtail marmalade. What the hell's an oxtail?
A cow's. It's cow roast reduction of.
Yeah.
It's a tail.
It's a tail of a cow.
But they're pretty meaty, pretty tasty. Actually, they're really tasty, especially if they're slow roasted or something.
They're big in Jamaica.
Yeah, they're good. What are you looking at? It's a tail. A cow's got a tail that big around at the base, especially.
But you eat the tail?
It's meat. It's got a lot of meat on it.
It's not like in the shape of a tail.
You're not eating the fluffy part.
Fluffy skin, on the end. They chop it up into like if you see it at the store, it's circular.
I've never seen it. Nope.
Yeah, we don't have tail at the store
Must
here.
be a southern
You don't have
thing.
oxtail? Maybe. No. Well, I do think it is a southern thing, partly.
It's soul food.
Yeah, soul food.
And it also has red wine, sweet onion juice.
Yum.
That I would eat, but it's $59. So maybe if they kept the tail, I could pay less. But.
Do I get the fluff with that?
Right?
So come with
to keep? Do I get a jacket out of it?
All right. Can I have shoes instead? But they do have
a pair of leather shoes.
I just had looked at the desserts. I have to go back now, I think.
Okay.
A strawberry creme brulee.
Ooh,
but that's good.
That sounds good.
Not a big creme brulee fan, but you put strawberries with it, and I'm sold.
Where?
Yeah.
Right there.
Under desserts?
Yeah, it's $23.
No, it's $16.
The one you just pointed to was $23.
Sorry, that was a selection of farmhouse and artisanal cheeses. We know I'm not eating that.
Yeah, you're not eating that at all.
But they have rice pudding.
For $15.
No.
That's really good.
I don't like rice pudding.
No.
Oh, I like rice pudding, but $15 is probably beyond my limit of how much I'll pay for rice pudding.
And that's the thing. It's on the dining plan.
Right.
Too soon?
It was on the dining plan when that was a thing that existed.
When we had a dining plan.
It'll be back.
Yeah. But it's a 2 credit, which if you're going to have 2 credits, you might as well give me an expensive dessert like that.
Right, exactly. Yep. And a view, and a place to be able to go watch the fireworks.
And the good waiters and waitresses will remind you of your being on the dining plan, so they'll go, get that.
Right.
Like, okay.
You want this. Yes, you do. You're right.
Okay. That sounds great.
And it's usually the most expensive thing on there.
Yeah.
I will say
they also have brunch, too, though.
Yes. It's one of those places that people, clients that have gone there, no one's ever said a bad thing about it. People rail about it. Just me, but you can't go based on me.
Right.
You're adventurous eaters. You can't. I mean, Sanaa is another one that people rave about that I will never.
Well, I think there's probably, when you pay that much money for food, and it's not good, there may be a little bit of delusion to it, where you're like, no, it's got to be, it had to be good.
It must be good.
Right. Well.
No, I don't know. We ate at, what was the one we ate at? The other one? At the top of the new hotel?
Oh, yeah, the Riviera.
Topolino's?
Topolino's?
No.
Not Topolino's.
It was at the
Riviera,
Grand Destino.
Yeah.
Tower.
Oh, okay.
What is it called?
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
That was pretty pricey too, and
That was pretty pricey, and we didn't care for that. And the service was bad too, but it was new.
It was brand
Right.
new, and
It was like
I think that was an off night. So
it was literally
hard
like
to-
the first night that the hotel was open. I think, right?
no,
It's beautiful though,
Oh
right?
no, it
No,
was
it wasn't.
Riviera that I was sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stayed at Riviera when it opened.
Yeah.
Sorry, off track.
All right.
Back
So
to contemporary.
back to contemporary. Yeah. So we talked about where the outer rim is, and then downstairs on the first floor, there is a coffee bar that's called the Contemporary Grounds,
That's good.
and that's on the ground floor. And it is good.
It is
We've
good.
stopped there several times
We've had
and gotten
lattes and
stuff.
coffees and dessert,
Pastries and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they take their time, but they do it right.
Yeah, that is not a fast place. If you're looking for a quick coffee to get in and out,
no.
that's not going to be your place to go.
Mm-mm.
But I don't want to make y'all think that we didn't like it. We've stopped there several
It's
times.
convenient too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a mango smoothie there once.
Ooh,
That was
yum.
super good.
I bet it
Super
was.
good.
Yeah.
It was perfect because it was a hot day.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Headed out afterwards.
Yeah, I forgot they do smoothies and stuff because Maddie stopped us there a few times. Well, every time we went past it to get a smoothie, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, that was cool.
So let's talk about some of our other favorite things about the Contemporary, be it the pools or the gift shops or what else? What's some of your other favorite things?
Me first.
Okay,
Up on the third floor where Chef Mickey's is at.
fourth floor.
Fourth floor.
Mhm.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Floor's convention.
Yeah.
Fourth floor, there's a killer toy store, really, is what it is.
Oh yeah, the one in the center.
The one that's in the center.
Fantasia?
Fantasia, yeah. And that's one of my favorite. I don't know why. It's just another toy store for Disney, but it just has that, it has a feeling and an ambiance to it because you're in the contemporary and you're
yeah.
seeing the magic around you because there's the big Mary Shelley wall, the big tile mosaic wall. And, the kids probably don't care about that too much, but it's kind of novel. It's kind of really cool for a little kid to look up and go, whoa, there's a goat way up there, things like that.
He's got 5 legs.
Yeah, got 5 legs.
Yeah.
But it's,
Weird.
it's kind of an open air concept too.
There's a reason
And
for it.
Why is there a reason for a
All right, tell us the
5-legged goat?
reason.
Because this is the research I did for this episode.
oh,
Yeah.
So, first off, world's largest handmade mosaic.
I'm not surprised by that.
It
Actually,
took a year and a half to design and install 18,000 hand-painted tiles.
Wow.
The 5-legged goat is apparently to honor the Grand Canyon Indian tribes that felt artwork should not be perfect.
Oh,
Oh.
there you go. That
she
sounds like a very
specifically-
Disney thing to do.
She specifically designed it that
Yeah.
way to, nope, that's going to put 5 legs. So we've seen that goat multiple times and
Right.
had no idea
Yeah.
why it had, that goat has 5 legs. Why does that goat have 5
It
legs?
makes sense though. I just not put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah,
'Cause
I didn't
bet-
either until I again, more stuff that I read
Yeah.
while researching the episode.
Because I've seen actual
That's really
petroglyphs from the Southwest, from Four Corners area,
Yep.
and there were some 5-legged, 6-legged goats, and some goats that looked like aliens and weird stuff. It wasn't perfect art by any stretch. So that
Yep.
makes a lot of sense. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking, don't they have like a VIP tour of the resorts to find out little things like that and
That
stuff?
would be cool.
So they do have one at the Wilderness Lodge every morning at like 8, I think it
It's
starts.
just a tour. You can just show up for it, right?
Yeah, they
It's
don't
not
charge you anything
it's not
for
a,
it.
like
It's
a
just-
VIP thing. It's
But
just
yeah,
a walking
that's the
tour
only
around it.
It's the only resort I know of that has a tour, and it would be
Yeah.
cool to see it.
Yeah.
At the
Mhm.
Contemporary, any of them really, that
Right.
behind the scenes stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. It'd just be a really interesting thing to see.
Here's where we do the laundry. I mean, hey, it's important to do a lot of laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
They have
do.
Disney has
that
the
they don't
largest
ship
laundry
out.
facilities.
Yeah, it's a big centralized thing. I forgot about that. They don't do it on
Yeah, they don't
do it
find
on the premises
they
of
don't
the
find
hotel.
stitchies either, or
Right?
itchies or
Twitchy.
twitchy. That's it. I knew it was a itch. It had the itchy.
An
in.
itchy.
Yeah.
It was an itchy.
We'll take a quick pause to mention to our listeners what happened so it doesn't happen to you. When your kids in the morning get out of bed, take their stuffies and put them in a drawer, because if it happens to be laundry change the sheets day and it gets lost up in the sheets,
You probably
Yeah.
aren't getting it back.
our
Yeah.
Twitchy has gone to live now at Walt Disney World somewhere. We have this vision of him, partying it up and hopping around the resort, but
Oh yeah, absolutely.
they never found him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
kinda
If you let it leave premises, I bet you'll never see it again.
Yeah.
If you can catch them going down the hall, or you can even catch it before it gets on the truck, you they'll do all that they can probably for you, but
Oh yeah.
past that,
And really, and that's the thing, right? You just can't leave it in the bed.
Yeah.
Right.
So take that step in the morning, put it either
Just
in a
put it
suitcase or
away.
a drawer or something, so that because it was just an accident.
Yeah.
But especially if you're bringing something that is,
Allie was so heartbroken. That broke my heart.
I know,
seeing
that was
her.
awful.
she still talks about it. And how many
bet.
years ago was that?
My gosh.
Well, the reason she talks
4 or
about it now
5
is
years
because they replaced it with a Stitch, and it wasn't the big one she wanted. It was the
Right.
slightly smaller one than what she wanted. They at least did something for her.
They did,
Yeah.
and they tried.
Bitter much?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That kid could hold a grudge, man.
Don't let her down.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. So, okay, so you Fantasia is your favorite.
It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite things
Okay.
about that floor. Is favorite gift shop
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, I like the gift shop that's on
I
the
know
other
why. I
side.
was going to say.
Hmm.
It has all the purses and it has the jewelry.
It's a good
and
store,
It's a
too.
good store.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they have
it's
a lot of
just
unique Mickey stuff.
They
there.
do.
That's-
They have
you could only
unique-
get at the Contemporary.
Mhm.
It's kind of cool.
Contempo
I think I got a good watch there, didn't I?
or something like that. Yeah, I think so.
Is that where we
Is
got
it-
the
yeah,
Mickey
it is where we got the
That's
Mickey
what I
watch. I forgot all about that. That's a really cool watch too.
Mhm.
Anyway, sorry. And then on that same floor, there is a viewing deck that you can go out and watch the fireworks on.
That's right.
The 4th floor. So if you're just there and it happens to be, dinner time and you've watched you've eaten dinner at Chef Mickey's and you're getting ready to leave and it's fireworks time, go off outside at 4:00. And it's the,
What?
where, you don't know where this is?
Yeah, and it's not just.
I just said 4:00 on the
Yeah.
You
4th
said 4
floor.
o'clock. I was like, if you go at 4 o'clock, you're
You'll
going
be
to be
there a
standing there
long
for a
time.
long time.
And there's not many
So
chairs out
outside
there.
on the 4th floor,
there you
and
go.
there is a fireworks viewing area.
And it's great. It does not just like 4 stories up because the first 3 stories of the Contemporary
Mhm.
are 3 stories tall themselves. I mean,
Yeah.
it's you're way up there for the
And they
fourth floor.
jet out, so you're not. You don't have things overhanging
have
you,
any
so
obstructions or
blocking your
anything.
view. Yeah.
And it's a
Good
cool
place.
spot too. You can watch the monorail come in from
Mhm.
hmm
from Magic Kingdom and stuff. So it's really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool.
What's your favorite part?
Um,
The fact that Nixon was
Of stuff we've covered. Not really. We're just
yeah, I mean, I like the history part of it. I find that the most interesting. I would like to go to that room and see it. I didn't think of it when we stayed there. We
Mhm.
totally could have gone over there. But yeah,
That's for some reason the Avenue of the Americas. That's what it's called, right?
ballroom.
The ballroom of the Americas.
I was like, I
Mhm.
said it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
But-
That was in Hollywood Studios, right?
yes, yeah, you're right.
The Avenue of the Americas.
So the Ballroom of the Americas is where they took our phones and locked them up from us.
okay.
Oh.
It was like, so we were joking. It was like the Situation Room in the White House or something.
Right.
Like they had took the phones and put them in these secure bags and then locked them. It was
Get the metal detector
crazy.
wand and
Yeah,
That's funny.
they were serious about that stuff. My favorite thing actually when we stayed there in July was they had gone. It was hotter than hell.
Mhm.
And they went to the parks, decided they were going to keep going. And I was like, I'm done. I'm going to a pool. And I saw the craziest stuff happening in their outdoor recreation area.
Right.
So they have volleyball and table tennis and then the pools and all of that. And it was all a really nice setup, but I got out of the pool and I was like, well, I'm going to go sit over here by the boats and watch people get those little water sprite boats or whatever.
Mhm.
And Chip and Dale were there
Oh.
and they were hysterical. So I'm like a
Yeah.
full grown adult, following them around the recreation area at a safe distance because the two of them are they're quite honestly my favorite characters now.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
They're so fun.
Yeah.
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 And
Totally.
I have some pictures I'll share this week on social media, but they there was one where I think it was Dale was doing this preparing for this big swan dive off of
Uh-huh.
a curb that was this tall. He was getting all ready for it, and then he finally leaped, and it was
He did his little yay.
Yeah.
Throws his
it
hands
was
up.
so cute. But you don't see a lot of characters at the resorts. But
Right.
apparently the two of them are there on the regular.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
Yeah.
So what was up about this ballroom in the Americas? I didn't quite.
That's where Nixon said his
That was
whole.
the Nixon thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a crook. Yeah.
That's right. I was thinking that's where the Pirates League,
The
Pirates League
Pirate
pre-show thing, Pirate Pals was
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't
totally
think
different.
I don't know where they
I
put
don't-
that.
it's down on the bottom.
Yeah.
I've never done that. Have you guys done that? The
Oh, yeah.
Pirate
We
Pals
did. We
fireworks?
did it, and we loved
And
it.
it was the Ballroom of the Americas. That's where we started. Had
Are
the
you
little-
sure?
Absolutely sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was in a big ballroom.
Yeah.
I do know that. And you had like ice cream and
Yeah. It's up on the third floor.
all kinds
Third
of
floor.
little snacks and things to have prior to.
All you could
And
eat.
you could do a
All
meet
you
and
could eat
greet
Mickey
with
bars.
Smee and Captain Hook. Yeah, it was all you could eat
It was
Mickey bars.
awesome.
And we ate all we could eat
Yeah,
too.
I got sick.
It sounds like a challenge.
Right? It
Exactly,
was.
right?
And then you leave from that area and you go get on the boat and you watch the fireworks. That was
cool.
fun. That was a really,
And we saw
I highly recommend that. Even as adults, we really enjoyed that.
the very rare view at the end of Captain Hook and Shmee.
No, Peter Pan was at the very end.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Captain Hook and Shmee
Captain Hook
were
and
in the
Shmee
ballroom.
were in the yes,
with us.
That's right. They were,
Yeah.
weren't they?
And then at the end, we got,
You're right.
Peter
Peter
Pan.
Pan was the
Yeah,
surprise at the
that's
end.
right, Peter Pan. So,
So it was
that was
kinda
really
cool,
cool.
yeah.
Mhm.
And they do a lot of the fireworks. So there's that one, but they have regular fireworks cruises that leave
Cruises.
from there too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were supposed to do one of those on July 4th.
Got rained out.
And it got rained
Oh.
out.
Well,
July 3rd, actually. we
July
gotta do.
3rd. Yep.
mhm.
That would have been a good time.
It's-
That would have been a good one to do.
It's a
Yeah.
killer place. We didn't think it'd be so cool. I mean, we're like, yeah, seeing the fireworks from Bay Lake or from Seven Seas Lagoon.
Yeah.
How cool could that be? Let me tell you,
Pretty cool.
it was
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Pretty
yeah,
cool.
the music's in sync, and they play the music on board the pirate
Mhm.
ship. and,
Right. I
uh,
wonder how much of the projections you can see. Probably not much,
not
huh?
much. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
When
Mhm.
I thought it was really cool when whenever you go to do something and you can get we got our father-in-law to actually sing pirate songs. I knew it was good. I knew it was
True.
good because everybody was singing. And when he
That's
goes yo ho ho, and holds up
Right.
his hand, I was like, what? This is cool. And so, yeah.
Those kind of memories are like the best.
They are.
People that just get into the moment and they just
Oh, yeah.
forget they're adults. And
They're
it's
adults,
like,
yeah.
nope.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It was very fun. So you mentioned all the recreation. That, to me, contemporary is one of the few that has just a ton of stuff. It
Mhm.
seems like.
Mhm.
Seems like they have more stuff than a lot of the other resorts do. So if that's something that you would enjoy doing on your vacation, if you're looking for a resort that has things to do outside of the theme parks, that's a great resort to stay at. for
Particularly
that.
water sports too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they've got the parasailing and the
Mhm.
Not
They have the-
anymore.
Not anymore. They don't do that.
not
They
too
got rid
bad.
of that Sammy Duvall stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there you go. That's a whole bunch of water sports. Go.
Yeah. But they do have, like, you could rent the pontoon boats and you can rent
Okay.
the little drive boats, like all of that kind of
So does that
stuff is
mean,
still
like,
there.
no more
And fishing.
I was going to say, does that mean no more fishing?
No, the fishing
No,
is
you
run
can
by
do
Disney.
fishing. Yeah.
Okay.
With the water skiing and the
Yeah.
parasailing, they got
Okay. Too much liability there.
I know when I was little, I just had this memory. There used to be a ski show,
That's right. There
and
was.
the characters, Goofy would water ski and stuff
Oh,
out
wow.
on
Yeah.
I think it was Seven Seas Lagoon where they did that.
Probably.
I don't think it was
I've seen
Salem.
videos of it. but I
Yeah,
can't tell you which
I'm
side it
pretty
was
sure.
on.
I'm pretty sure it was Seven Seas Lagoon.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That would
I
make
just
sense.
forgotten
That way
about
everybody,
that.
more people could see it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that was a neat. Yeah. Sorry, just had that memory.
That's a good memory.
Flashback. That was fun.
Cool.
All right. So I think we've hit all the high points. They do have one low point, but I can't hold it against them because it's not Contemporary's fault. All the resorts have it. They do have parking fees.
They do.
You almost fooled. You fooled me
do.
there.
Yeah.
They have parking
I was
fees.
like, oh my God, what is she going to
They're
say?
$25 a night.
The
parking
humanity.
fees.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The deluxe
The
resort's
same.
$25.
That is, that parking lot has been there since 1971.
Yep.
Yep. Same spot.
Same spot.
Yep.
But now it costs $25 to park there.
It was 30. Okay, whatever.
No,
I'm
it's
not going
25.
to rub salt in the wound. Sorry.
Yeah.
25. That's a discount.
No, it's not.
It's better than 30.
They
Well,
should
it's better
totally
than
be
30.
like, oh, it's $40. No, for you, it's $25. And you'd be
Right?
like, oh, thank you.
Wow.
Can you think of anything else we need to cover?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, how about,
Things you want to talk
and this
about?
is kind of like a last minute throw in, but like on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about it? Like, what would your rating be?
I'd say it's a solid 7 for me.
That's funny. That was a number I thought of too.
Yeah.
I was kind of like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not my favorite by any stretch.
It's enjoyable.
But it's enjoyable, yeah. Except for the elevators. But
elevators are a bit of an issue. I was going to say that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what knocks it down a little for me.
That's really the only thing that knocks it down for me, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really annoying.
Yeah, it's really annoying. What we're talking about is the fourth floor is where everything is. So that's where you stop. You get on an elevator. They have one bank of elevators.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 elevators?
No, 4.
4?
4
Okay.
Yeah, 4, I believe.
And
2 on each side.
that you can go up to the guest rooms. That's not, for that number of rooms, that is not very many elevators.
Yeah.
And everybody has to get off at the 4th floor and get on. If you want to go down further, you have to either take another set of elevators, or you have to take, what are those things called? Escalators. Thank you.
Yeah.
So the
it can be taxing at times, especially when there's a convention and then you got
right.
It's just full. Whenever it's busy, it's busy times, especially. So like when everybody's coming back from the park in the afternoon to get ready for dinner. It's challenging.
That's really the only thing about that resort I really just don't care for, though.
Yeah, me too.
And it's so much of a non-thing for me that I forget about it until it comes up.
That's good.
Because I'm like, But yeah, when you're there, it can be really annoying.
Yeah.
They do have a fabulous club level, though, the Atrium Club. That's awesome. That has a prime view of the castle and Space Mountain, like that area.
Ooh, yeah.
And their food was edible for all. They had some fancy stuff. But they had some typical normal stuff too. And it's a pretty good size room. So that was good. And they have another club level in that place too. And I can't remember the name of it. I've never been in that one. But they have 2 separate ones depending on where your rooms are.
Okay.
Ah, interesting.
So, Gina, what number would you give it?
I would probably give it a 6.
Yeah.
It's
Counter
okay.
space is a big thing.
Counter space is a big thing for me. And then the whole elevator thing. What it has going for it is that walk to Magic Kingdom. That's a big plus, a really big plus. And then you've also got a boat ride. If you want to do a boat, you can do a boat ride. And so it's got some pluses. But all
fair enough.
Yeah, a 6.
Yeah, I kind of knew that.
Yeah, not my favorite.
We'll stay there again, I'm sure.
Did you give us a number, Kyle?
I did. I said 7-ish, 8-ish. Yeah. I'm in between.
Yeah. That's pretty high up there.
Oh, yeah. It's not my favorite deluxe. Let's put it that way. It's on the bottom. I think it's on the bottom of my deluxe resorts.
But I would say stay there. If you haven't stayed at it before, I think it's definitely one to try.
Yeah.
Everybody's idea of counter space is different, so nobody else may have the issue that I have. So, but I think it's you got to try it once. It's the OG.
If anything, go visit. It's free to visit.
Right.
So
just ride the monorail.
Hop on the monorail and boom, you're there, and you have a meal while you're there, or
exactly.
Something.
Yep.
But go see it. It's cool.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. I think that's going to do it for tonight. I think we dived pretty deep into we dove pretty deep into the contemporary. Sorry. Anyway.
It's COVID.
So we would love to hear from you guys. If you want to find us, we are on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Mickey Guru Travel Talk. And then we're also on Instagram and on Twitter. And that is MG Travel Talk. Correct?
Yeah. Instagram is Mickey Guru Travel Talk.
Yep. Right.
Twitter is
MG
Travel Talk.
Travel Talk. All right. So we will see you next week. Bye.
Safe travels, everyone.
Toodles.
Bye, everybody.
We all know vacation planning is stressful and time-consuming. Let the expert vacation planners at Mickey Guru Travel Company handle the details and find you the best deal possible, all at no extra cost to you. Whether your vacation dreams are made of roller coasters and princesses, or sailing on the open seas, they will help create a magical experience you'll remember forever. To learn more about Mickey Guru and how they can help you save time and money, visit them at MickeyGuru.com.